What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back with Walt Disney Studios' The Good Dinosaur. Now, here is an interesting premise. What if 65 million years ago the asteroid that most likely hit Earth never hit Earth? Would the dinosaurs still be here? Would they have evolved, perhaps, maybe a little bit more? This is an interesting premise that there are so many possibilities where it could go. This film centers upon some brontosauruses. I apologize if they're not brontosauruses, but they look like brontosauruses to me. I'm sure there's some dinosaur experts on here that may be able to correct me. But let's call them, brontosauruses. Ma and Pa are two brontosauruses who have some new hatchlings. 3 little itty-bitty babies. There's a big brother who's strong and brass and brave. There's a sister who's intelligent, smart, brass, brave. They know what they're doing. And then there's little itty-bitty Arlo. A little bit of a scaredy cat. Doesn't really know what's going to happen. This family has started a farm. They're yielding, growing corn, tending to the fields, and they have a system down. And they store their corn because when winter hits, they obviously can't grow any more corn. As someone from Indiana, I identify with the corn growing because we all grow corn in Indiana. Yeah. So one day they are told a story about making your mark. It's proving to your family that you have earned your right to literally make your mark. So Arlo's having difficulty because his job is to tend to these crazed chickens. And unfortunately for him, they're just a little bit too much for him. So his dad gives him another opportunity. They've had a corn thief. They're trying to figure out what little critter is doing it. So his mission is to guard this huge silo when one day the critter appears. It turns out to be like a caveman Neanderthal, and his job is to smash it. He can't smash it. He doesn't feel it's in his bones to do it. His dad decides this is your opportunity, and they chase after the critter and try and get some retribution for stealing his corn. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, it's much like a lot of Disney films in the sense where a central character unfortunately passes away, and this leads to Arlo's character, having some bit of a change, finding his way and hopefully eventually making his mark. So he sets out on an adventure after being, taken away from his family to figure out how to get back to his family, but also improve upon the status that they have. So they encounter some really interesting characters along the way, including these vultures, one played by Steve Zahn. They find these cattle ranching Texan T-Rexes that are really interesting, and that's a big part of how Arlo's journey is along the way. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. It's not like a star-studded affair. There's not like too many huge names. I mean, Steve Zahn and Jeffrey Wright are pretty much the two biggest names, I would say. There's some other people in the film for sure, but definitely more of a low-key cast, which is cool. They all sound very well suited for their roles. The animation is interesting because the first shot of the film, this incredible backdrop, beautifully animated, gorgeous. And then there'll be every other scene, they'll use an actual, real location that they shot, and that they, similar to the film Dinosaur, where they shot scenes and then they digitally added in later, post, they added, the characters. It's interesting because it blends really well, but it's also a little confusing, but in a good sense. You're like, wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful mountain. Oh wait, that's a real mountain. It's pretty cool how they do it. The character designs are interesting because there's some parts where they look a lot better and crisper and more realistic and like, wow, that's a real dinosaur. And there's some that they just necessarily don't. But it's not bad or anything. I've seen it way, 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 way worse. So even on its worst moments, it's still really cool. The characters all have a lot of distinctive personalities, and I'm wondering how they made like T-Rex's Texan, like I guess because they're cattle ranchers, I guess. That makes sense, but it's a little interesting how they do that. It is very, very similar to a lot of Disney films. So it's neither a credit or a discredit because a lot of them have the same loss of a central character and they bring in somebody. They have to find their way. That's just a very common theme, very Lion King-ish. I'm trying to think what else is pertinent information. I think it's a good movie. There's a lot of laughs. I give him a ton of credit for actually pushing the envelope a little bit. There's a character who almost says a bad word in the film and is kind of cut off. It's really funny. Let's say bull malarkey. Let's say that. They almost say it. They don't say it, but they almost do. It's pretty funny. The Beatles in this film are hilarious. Anytime there's Beatles, it's hilarious. There's the harmonica scene, and then the one where they really push the limits. It's where Spot, the Neanderthal character, is offering up food to Arlo, and then he's like, "Okay," thwacks his head off. It's hilarious. It got a real big laugh in my audience and from me. What else happened? There's some just incredible moments, like especially with the relationship between Spot and Arlo. They really connect this bond. You know, Spot is this, caveman-esque guy who's identifies with wolves. And, they don't have dialogue really between other than what Arlo is saying. It's kind of funny how Arlo speaks pretty good English. And, like why English? But it's pretty cool how they identify with each other, even though they don't communicate, vocally. But the physical verbiage that they have is really sweet and endearing. Very evocative of Land Before Time, and that's a good thing. It's a sweet movie. I would definitely rewatch it again. There's some really funny moments in the movie. There's some really endearing and engaging moments in this film. Definitely worth checking out. Disney does another good job. I hope you guys check it out. Let me know what you guys think of it. This is going to be part of a double feature. I'm going to be seeing Creed in a little bit. So I hope you check out that movie review. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other movie reviews. So please check those out. Please give this video a like, a thumbs up, a share. Hit any ad that's on my that's on there, a commercial, whatever. It actually really helps me pay for these tickets to see these movies because I don't get to see them for free, but I'd love to. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe at London Hawthorne. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. Love all your comments. Let me know what you guys think of the movie. If you have any suggestions for movies you want me to check out, maybe even avoid, please leave a comment and let me know. Have a wonderful day.